Closing is always easy when you're in Cardone U. We role play with Grant Cardone's team. They know just what to do. They're always there to support us. We couldn't ask for more. On our way in the right direction, we found what we're looking for. In FLC, in FLC. Closing is better with appointment setters. You'd better believe we're not a team but a family. We work together in harmony. We are devoted, and that you can quote me in FLC.
Hello everybody and welcome back to another powerful episode of the FLC Hangout where your freedom lifestyle begins. Oh yeah, we're back. I'm so super excited to be back, to be filming with you guys again and for this subject, because this is actually a very fresh topic, right? You'll get to know what I mean by that in a second. A very fresh topic, fresh learnings, probably the freshest learnings that we're sharing with you on here in the history of the FLC Hangout. So if you want some hot topics, some hot nuggets, hot golden nuggets, I don't know, then stick around because we're about to drop them on you. Now, with all that being said, before we do properly get into it, please make sure to give this video a like, give it a subscribe if you haven't already. While you're down there, you may as well. Unless this is your first time seeing us, then you can watch the video first, decide if you like us first, and then subscribe. That's fine too. Leave a comment what your biggest aha is, what your biggest light bulb moment is throughout this episode. And with all that being said, Misty, I want to go over to you. What did we just do, first of all?
Oh my gosh, we're just got off of a new training we're taking, and I'm so excited for this. This is something that I think the little girl in me has always wanted to do, even though I'm too terrified. I've always been too terrified to do it. However, being on the Hangout and doing this, it's kind of like opened me up a little bit more. So what we're doing, I'm so excited. We are taking speaking mastery. So our beautiful Chabaria, this side, is teaching us how to speak on stage, right? So it's so awesome. I'm so excited. I can't wait for this. The ins and outs and things, because you would think that just speaking and talking on stage would just be normal, but there's so much to it. And there's so many details you have to think about and in order to get the engagement and people to really pay attention, because I don't know if you've had it, Josie, but when I speak to people, they have a tendency to go to sleep. It's like, you're too boring. Or they cut me off and they don't listen because it's like, yeah, you're not saying anything new or anything interesting. So we get to learn how to do that, and which will make this podcast a lot better. And I think it's just going to change our overall lives, because we're going to be able to get people's attention more. No more hiding in the corners, in the back dark alleys, like, hey, I'm here. No, we'll take the bull by the horns and blow in it.
Yeah,
sorry.
Exactly. Exactly. And this topic, this subject today is actually very not planned, right? And free flow. And the reason I'm telling you guys that is because we just got off this training Misty was talking about, and Chabaria actually gave us I'm gonna tell it open to everyone that knows what's going on, because I think I quite like
full
that.
transparency.
I quite like knowing what's going on, to know what's going on in the world. So what's going on in the FLC world? Chabaria just gave us 2 topics to talk about, right? And maybe some of you watching right now saw our live videos on Instagram. If you haven't, they're still there. Go check them out. And we thought that these would actually be really powerful subjects to merge together today to talk about here right now in the Hangout. So thank you, Chabaria, for giving us these subjects, because there we go. 10 minutes later, it's on a Hangout. Which hour?
Yeah.
So two main things: standing in your own way and saying yes to things. Now, these might seem like different things. I think they're the same thing, right? And I know, well, what I just talked about is that actually you shouldn't say yes to every opportunity. And what you might be thinking, I know what some of you might be thinking right now is, huh? I thought we are meant to say yes to things. We are meant to grab every opportunity. But what I'm here to tell you is no, right? Same thing with standing in your own way. Misty, tell us more about standing in your own way.
Well, first of all, Josie, if you like standing in your own way, just keep doing it. This topic is not for you. Either one of these topics, just not for you if you like standing in your own way. But if you're sitting there thinking, I really don't want to stand in my own way, I want to get out of my way, I want to hit that success and get to reach my dreams and live however I want to. My internet's messing up.
That's
Then
okay.
this topic is for you and you should listen. So,
Yeah.
Josie, I want to know because I know I stand in my own way a lot. I've done it for years without realizing that's what was really going on. So I've learned how to handle that and kind of get out of my way. But I want to know, why shouldn't we say yes to everything?
Mm. Good question. So the reason being, and like again, I know we're taught to say yes to opportunities, right? You hear it all the time. Say yes, like it opens doors. However, however, what I've seen and what I know we've all seen in the FLC world, and I've seen it other places too, you just have to look, is people have this thing called, and Chabaria calls it this, and I'm not sure if like it's an actual term or because I've only ever heard it in FLC, shiny object syndrome. And what this means is people will jump from thing to thing because it's the new shiny thing to do. Like we see in business, people will jump from drop shipping to trading to business to blah, 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 all these different things, or even as simple as picking up a hobby. People will pick up a hobby, realize, oh, it's actually taking more work to get good at this hobby than I thought. They'll jump to another thing, another thing, another thing. When in reality, if they just stuck to the first thing, they would be good at it by now because they're stuck to it, right? So that's why I say you actually shouldn't say yes to every opportunity. You should say yes to the things that align with you and you should stick at it. This is what I mean because too often people will jump on the thing they want to do. And it's two things here. Maybe they've said yes to an opportunity that doesn't really align with them, but like they think they should say yes because it's going to open a door and they just don't like it. They don't want to do it. They drop off. Or which in my opinion is more common, people say yes because they really want to do this, it aligns with them, they're ready to take action, they go through it, they realize, oh, this is taking a little bit more effort, a little bit more work than I thought it was going to take, and then suddenly again get shiny object syndrome and jump to something else because they think that's going to take less effort when in reality everything's going to take effort, right? So that's what I mean. And I think that relates really closely to what you were talking about, like standing in your own way. There's such a fine balance of saying yes and taking opportunities, but also so you're not standing in your own way, but also not saying yes to everything. So I think it contradicts each other a little bit, right? But does that make sense to you?
It does make sense to me because when I hear somebody say yes to everything, that puts in too many options in my mind because that's either good or bad. And what we want to do is we want to say yes to the good things that we resonate with and we can really follow through with, and no to the things that are bad and that we know we're not going to follow through with or are not really going to benefit us in any way.
Mm.
And like you said, it kind of relates to standing in your own way, because a lot of times what we do is we hear or see these shiny new things and we think, I want to do that, but I have this and I have this. So we come up with excuses why we can't do that. And therefore, we're standing in our own way, whether it be an actual legitimate reason, which would not be you standing in your way, it would be a legitimate reason. But if you're thinking, because I'm not good enough, I'm not smart enough, I can't do that, I can't learn that, it's too much, it's too difficult, oh, it's on technology, I can have no clue on that, it's not for me, I have to have somebody else do it for me. That's you standing in your own way. And that's you standing, because it's like, you have to look at it this way. If you're standing in a doorway and you're wanting success to come in, it's not going to come in because you're blocking it, right? So you have to move out of that way and let it come in. So, well, if it's all right with you, I'd like to share just a little story that I had when I was doing cosmetology. And this story really changed my thought process and the way I viewed myself and how my confidence and everything kicked in. So I was in cosmetology school, learning how to be a cosmetologist, how to do hair, nails, facials, all of that stuff, right? And it was the day we were supposed to cut the hair on mannequins. I was so scared and nervous. I thought, I do not even want to touch the scissors because what if I mess up? This is somebody else's hair. It's going to affect them in some way. Granted, it's hair, it's going to grow back, no big deal. But to that other person, that could traumatize them or really affect their life. So I was terrified. And I subconsciously as I was going through everything and brushing through the mannequin's hair and had the scissors in my hand and I was cutting, subconsciously I kept saying out loud, I think I can, I think I can. And then I'm like, no, I know I can, I know I can, I know I can. And my instructor walked up to me and she says, Misty, you sound like the little engine that could, except you're saying you know you can instead you think you can. So, and I don't know if you've ever heard that story of the little engine that could. If not, you need to go back to Disney, the old school Disney, and watch that cartoon. It's amazing. It's a lot of lessons in there. But that changed my saying that. I still do it to this day. I find myself in difficult situations repeating out loud. It doesn't have to be so loud everybody else can hear it, but I catch myself repeating, I know I can, I know I can, I know I can. And what it does is it builds up that confidence and I can get out of the way and I can I just go and do it and I nail it. And the thing is that once I nail that and I accomplish whatever I was trying to do and I was too scared to do, I look back at it and think, oh my, I was worried over nothing. I was scared for no reason. I'm better than I thought I was. That looks awesome. I did amazing on that. In fact, I passed all that class flying colors. I have passed everything flying colors. So it's like, just get out of your way. Quit overthinking things.
Yeah.
Does that make sense for you? What do you think about that?
Yeah, for sure. And thank you for sharing that story actually, because I think it helps people. It helps me also. I had an aha moment there. Helps people realize that actually changing your mindset and getting out your own damn way is easy. It's easy. And you might be thinking, well, no, I've been trying to do it for however many years, like my whole life. I've been trying to get out of my way. What do you mean? Of course I'm not in my own way on purpose. But we're here to show you and tell you, like Missy's story, it takes one flip. It takes one flip in the mind to, first of all, what you have to do is catch that thought, you're thinking this, and realize, is this true? Like in Misty's story, she was trained. She was training and learning how to do hair. And then when it got to cutting the hair, she was thinking, oh, I don't know if I can. I don't know if I can. Hang on, is that true? No, because you've trained to do it. Of course you can. So catch the thought, think to yourself, is this actually true? Most of the time, no. And it's that quick, that simple to change and flip that process. So that is why it is easy to get out your own
Mm-hmm.
damn way. You know what I mean? And the same thing with saying yes. Like Yes, I know, and I love how these topics interlink. I know we were just talking about like you shouldn't say yes to everything, um, which is true, but saying people also struggle with actually saying yes to things they do want to do because it comes with the fear, what if this, what if that, what if this? It's a simple mindset flip switch. Something I like to ask myself, and I can't remember. Oh, it's actually our coach, our FLC coach, Coach David, who gives this word track to us a lot. Um, what's the worst that could happen? What's the best that could happen? What if you did nothing? Now, what I mean by that is you are given an opportunity, you're presented something on a silver platter, and you want to take it, but you have that fear. Ask yourself those three questions. What's the worst thing that could happen if I did this right now? I don't know, you waste some time, you realize it's actually not for you. You realize you want to do something else instead. I don't know, you suck at it. I don't know, but is that the worst that could happen? Maybe. What's the best that could happen? You take the opportunity, you realize maybe you suck at it at first, that's fine, but you get better, or naturally you're really good at it. And it opens more doors, it takes you to this opportunity, it takes you where you actually always wanted to go. You're on the right journey now, and you are so happy that you took the opportunity. Okay, great, perfect. I think that massively outweighs the worst, by the way. But then there's a third option. What happens if you do nothing? You don't you don't take it, you don't not take it, you don't not take action, but you don't take action. Where does that get? Nowhere. Nowhere. Not only will you not realize maybe it's not for you, maybe you want to do this instead, you certainly won't go for it and get further in the process. You're going to stay exactly where you are. And to me, that's the worst thing that could happen, right? Um, and what does Grant say? If you're not growing, you're dying. And I know
Mhm.
that's a controversial sentence maybe, but I don't know. I agree with it. What about you?
I do agree with that. I think that we should be learning and growing, and I don't think we should look at failure as an actual failure. It's actually a win because you're learning from that failure. You're learning from that did not turn out the way you expected it to. And and like you were saying, was it Grant Cardone or who else says that? If you keep doing what you've always done, you'll keep getting what you've always gotten.
Mm.
So if you do nothing, then you're going to get nothing,
Mhm.
right?
Yeah.
So who was it that said that? I don't know. Anyway, um, I can't. Free spirited mind this morning.
Yeah. I've only heard, I think, Jabarius say that. Um, but I'm not sure where she got it from.
I'm not either, but it's okay. The important thing is that it's there and it's been said. And
And there we have her. Just
there she is.
working away. You can you can watch Jabari if you like. She's here working away. Sorry, carry on.
No, no, it's okay. There was something else I was gonna say too. It's oh, if you decide not to do anything, like if you're going to you have this decision to make, like you said, this opportunity has been given to you, and you can either say yes or no, and you decide not to make a decision, that in itself is a decision.
Mm,
And that in itself is giving you exactly what you've always done, nothing.
mm,
So if you're not going to do anything, you're going to keep getting nothing,
mhm.
right?
Yeah.
So, you guys, if you think that this is a little difficult, I completely understand that. But if you think that saying yes and getting out of your own way is easier than what you think it is, comment yes in the comments below. Let us
Mm.
know.
Yeah,
We want to hear from you.
absolutely. Absolutely. And something else that just came to my mind too is sometimes I know I said it's a simple mindset flip, and actually getting out your own way and saying yes to more opportunities is actually easy, which it is. I stand by that. But however, I'm going to argue myself here. It's not always as simple as just deciding. And what I mean by that is you have to put it in practice. Something I actually wanted to mention in the video I did that I didn't, which I'll mention here because you guys are exclusive. We like to share more things here. Is when you do say yes to things, and I promise this relates, when you do say yes to things and you start actually taking action and getting out your own way, it's not just that decision and that action of saying yes. It doesn't finish there. What is important is that you actually continue to take action towards that thing, right? It doesn't stop at just saying yes to an opportunity or saying yes to learning a new skill or saying yes to a new job or a new hobby. That's not gonna do any, that's gonna get you to the first step, yeah, sure, but it's not gonna take you where you want to be with that opportunity, with that thing. What you need to do after that is continue to say yes, right? Say yes every day. We talk about this a lot. You can't just wake up one day and think, I'm going to be a millionaire. I'm going to be a successful entrepreneur. And then suddenly your whole life goes that way. No, you have to wake up every single day and decide that, right? So that's the point I wanted to get across too. This is what we're saying by it's a simple mindset shift. Yes, it's true, but you need to carry on and keep going on that journey. It's not just going to work if you do it once, right? I think we've both witnessed witnessed and experienced that learning.
Yeah, I like how Chibaria put it this morning. It's not just getting up and saying yes, it's actually putting your whole energetic being into it and taking that action. And it's not just saying the words yes, you have to energetically surround it and just kind of go for it. Which can seem very difficult. If it seems difficult to you, I completely understand that, because we go through that too. However, it is easier than when you start getting out of your own way and you're thinking, like you said, you have to catch that thought. So you have to be self-aware of what you're thinking. So if you're thinking this is going to be too difficult, I can't do this, catch that thought. Catch it. Think about, is this how I really am feeling? Is it really what I want? No? Okay, let me change that.
Yeah.
I have to do that all the time. So it's like, because like we have to make our dials every day, right? Do our cold calls. And every single day, just before I dial every single number, I don't want to do this. Let me quit. Okay, no, wait. That's not what I want. That's not what I want. I want to succeed. I want to get out of this position that I'm in. I need to remember my why. I need to remember this is easier than what I'm making it out to be. It's not scary. I can do this. Okay, ready? Push the button. And then I'm like, hold my breath and hope they don't answer. But it's like, I stop myself again. No, I want them to answer. I want them to answer. I want them to answer. I know what I got to say. I know how to handle this. I need them to answer. They're going to answer. I'm going to close this deal. I'm going to help these people. So I have to constantly keep doing that. And that in itself is, getting out of your way and saying yes, because you have to say yes to you, what you want, and not just say it. You have to energetically feel it, embrace it, and move the action with it. Right? So
Yeah,
get out of your
absolutely.
way. Quit doing that.
Get out your damn way. Something
If
else.
you don't, we'll sick Chabaria on you. We'll sick Chabaria on you. She will make you get out of your way.
She will. She will. She'll empower you in the process too. Something else that
Yep.
I've actually, again, heard Shabaria say a few times. And I love how we quote Shabaria and Seb a lot right here. And now Shabaria's hanging out with us to actually hear it now. Something Shabaria says a lot is whether you think you can or you think you can't, you're right. You're right. If you think that you can't make that phone call, you think that you can't start that business, you're right. You can't. Because how are you going to do it with that attitude, huh? But if you believe that you can, you're going to see ways and opportunities and ways that you can do it. So, and again, it's not as simple as just choosing, I believe that I can. Because if you actually don't, it's not going to work. So you need to take that action towards it that helps you believe that you can do it. Like when we first started doing like the sales, the cold calls, I shared it yesterday on the closing ball. I was such a shy kid. Oh my God, I would cry going into restaurants to order by myself or into new hobbies. So aerial circus, a little side note, aerial circus, like climbing up the ropes and all that jazz, was a huge part of my life. Huge. And I might even still be doing it if it wasn't for COVID, but maybe that's my own limiting belief. That like wiped it away and I just never went back. Huge part of my life. I absolutely loved it so much to the point where I was like, I want to perform in Cirque du Soleil and travel the world doing circus. And I knew that I wanted to do that for a while before I actually started the classes. But when it came to actually signing up and going to my first class, I did not want to go. I remember it so vividly. I was crying in the hallway to my mum, like, don't make me go in there. Don't make me go in there. And she was like, Josie, what? You've been saying for years that you want to do this. And here I am, like, actively trying to run away. So she pushed me in there and closed the doors. And then I had to stay because the teacher was dragging me away. And oh my God, I loved it. Oh God, I went back every single week, multiple times a week for years. Point being is just choosing to think that you can do something isn't enough. You need to follow through with that, right? So when we first, that whole point, that whole story to make this point was when I first started doing sales, I didn't think that I could. I didn't think that I could pick up that phone, have a conversation with someone and get them to agree to a Zoom meeting. And then when I started doing the Zoom meetings, I didn't think that I could genuinely help someone see that we are the right fit for them or help someone actually close. I didn't think I could do it, but I did it anyway. And I kept doing it until I could do it. And people were saying yes. And people were agreeing to the calls. And then that is what led me to believe I can do this. So sometimes you need to actually do the action before you can fully believe I can do this, right? So go out there and do the scary thing. Do it anyway, even if you think you suck and you can't, because you'll find out that the more you do it, you can do anything. Anything. So use that power for good.
Absolutely. And when you were telling about you doing that, the circus thing and everything, I kept thinking, how cool would that be if we were on TED Talks and you opened up with that? Shabari and I could be dancing on stage and you're doing what you're thing. And it's like the opening for, how amazing would that
Oh
be?
my God. Misty,
That would be so awesome.
I have just the move. I have just the move and the drop for you. Let's make it happen.
See? Yes, we're going to do this. This is so amazing. And I want you guys to take note that Shabari over here, she may not be commenting here and saying stuff here, but she's working hard. And you know what? She gets up every day. You don't think she gets tired? She just did 5 hours of the closing ball yesterday. 5 hours speaking. And she's still over here working away. And it's because, she wants to take days off. And she probably should. She deserves a vacation. But you know what? She's so passionate and she's decided to say yes to what she wants in her life. She keeps taking that action. And she goes through the same things we do. She stands, every once in a while she'll stand in her own way and say, I don't want to do this, and put up all those blockages and all those negative things. But she's like, okay, wait a minute. No, let's do this. I'm going to say yes. I deserve this. These people need me. They deserve this. I'm doing it. So she may not be talking to us, but she's talking and she's doing a lot of business and helping a lot of people. And the reason why I want to not just toot her horn because she deserves it, but because I want you to see that if she can do it, Josie and I can do it, you can do it, and you deserve it. And the people who you're going to help in any way, shape, or form, you just being present in their life, whether it just be with a smile or just showing up, that makes a difference. And they deserve you to do it. So if it's right for you and it resonates and it's for the good and it's not hurting anybody, it's not doing anything negative, go for it. Say yes. You're going to find that once you say yes, like Josie was saying, it ends up being easier than what you thought. And then over time, you end up enjoying it so much. It's like, oh, I can't get enough of this.
Yeah.
So you've got to think, I can do this and I'm going to. So with that being said, I want you to get out of your way. And I want you to comment below in the comments, out of my own way. Never give up, never quit, right? But I want you to comment out of my own way in the comments below. We want to hear from you. Josie, do you have anything that you would like to say before we wrap up here?
Oh,
I think Chabaria
of
deserves a
things.
crown
How
on
much
her
time
head.
do you have?
Kind of move a crown over her head. That would be nice.
Uh-oh.
I got
Sorry,
about
I didn't
5
mean to
seconds.
interrupt
Go
you,
for it.
Misty's
No,
internet. All right.
I'm lagging. You're okay.
Misty, just for anyone watching, this is funny. Misty's internet has been a little bit funny, so I didn't mean to interrupt you. I'm sorry. But yes, I do. I actually thank you for making that point, and talking about our dear Chavaria here, because I think that really helped solidify what I was just trying to say as well. Because the point I was trying to make with that, whether or not I ended up making it or not, is just like you said.
You did.
Thank you. But just like you said, the example with Chavaria, and again, I'm going to use you as an example here, Chavaria, is that she wakes, like you said, she wakes up every day and she does the doings. She chooses success and she says yes to her and her life and herself. And that comes with the decision, yes, the first of all, the decision to do that, but the continued action behind it and the experience of, even in the times where you don't want to say yes and you don't want to keep going, you keep going, because in that you get stronger. And then the next time you feel that, it's going to be easier to snap yourself out of it. And then the next time you feel it, it's going to be even easier to snap yourself out of it. And then I'm not saying it will ever be easy. No, because nothing comes easy. You do have to work. But the more you practice that and the more you catch yourself and do, like we said, catch your thoughts and reverse them, the easier it's going to get to do that. So what I'm trying to say is just do it. Like Nike, sorry, American crowd. Nike says, just do it, because it will get easier, I promise. So that's what I want to say for now.
That's so powerful and good. Thank you, Josie.
Thank you.
So guys, with that being said, thank you guys so much for tuning in this week. We enjoyed this. We're so excited about the new training we're going through. hopefully you guys will start seeing a little bit more of it, and the things will become a little bit more powerful and meaningful to you. We are looking for everybody to grow and change and become better, and we're just all millionaires, right? We just have to decide and make those actions. So be sure to like, comment, share, follow everybody on Instagram or social media or wherever. We'll see you guys next week. And we're, like we say here at FLC, welcome to the family. Or once your family for life. Continue growing, and we'll see you guys next week. Bye.
Bye.